If you have questions, please add them to the chat. Otherwise, you can ask me after I'm finished talking, or if you want to raise your hand, or if you want to just unmute your mic while I'm talking, you can do that as well. So let's see, share screen. Are y'all seeing my screen? Oh, not yet. There it is. Okay, so in today's Google Classroom, I added a video because somebody asked this question yesterday. They've uploaded all their drawings to their Google Drive, but they weren't able to open it in Photopia from their Google Drive. This video shows you how to do that. I'm going to go ahead and run through it real quick so that you don't necessarily have to watch the video. And I'm going to show you how to open the image from your Google Drive, as well as how to save it on Photopia. So I'm going to open up another link here, another tab, and go to Drive. I'm going to go to where I keep up my stuff. Clark Middle School. For some reason it's not working. Open. Let me try another tab. There we go. Just working a little slow today. So remember, if you're in 8th grade, which I think most of y'all are, create a folder called 8th grade. Inside your 8th grade folder, create a new folder and call it Art. And since we're period 2, put Art 2, do an underscore, which is shift minus, and then put your first initial and last name. Notice how I put lowercase for the first initial and uppercase for the last name. That shows me how you, or shows me how to see the difference between your first name and last name. But it's just your first initial. And then do underscore whatever grade you're in. Inside this folder is where you're going to keep all the artwork for this class. What you're going to do when you create this folder is you're going to click right here and select Share. And then up here, you're just going to type my email address, which is right here, jwing2@sandy.net. That way I can put things in your folder, like little videos on showing you how to fix drawings or suggestions for artwork that you're working on. So inside this folder, I'm going to actually do a search here. Inside that folder is where you're going to upload all of your daily doodles. You'll notice this one that I'm going to open is from 4/29. So this was actually at my last school. I'm going to right mouse click on this and select Preview. At the top of the screen, you're going to see something like this. I'm not sure if it'll have it on yours, so I've been playing around with different photo editors. What I want you to do is click on this little right arrow and go down to Connect More Apps. You'll notice that my Photopia is already on here because I've connected it. But you're going to click on Connect More Apps. At the top up here where it says Search, you're going to type in Photopia. And click the return key or the enter key on your keyboard. Again, you'll notice that mine already has it installed, but for yours, what you're going to do is you're going to double click this and then close this window. Then when you click on this arrow with this drawing previewed, you can click on the arrow and open it up in Photopia. I'm not going to go through all of the details right now, but here's what you're going to do basically. I'll just do this very quickly. I'm going to go over here and create a new layer. Double click where it says layer 1 and type in ink. Then I'm going to click on background again, create another layer, and call this one color. You can use black on the ink up here, or you can use another color. I usually like to play around with other colors as an outline, just because then it doesn't look so much like a coloring book. But then you're just going to go in and colorize your drawing. And I'm not being super careful here, but I can always go back in here and erase this using the eraser tool to make any fixes I need to make. If you need your paintbrush to be larger, there's two ways you can do it. You can either go right over here to click this and slide this bar over, or another way to do it, right next to the letter P on your keyboard, there's a left bracket. If I hit the left bracket, the paintbrush gets smaller. If I hit the right bracket, the paintbrush gets bigger. So that's obviously too wide. I'm going to erase all this by selecting the lasso tool and just drawing an area around this and then hitting the delete key or the backspace key. Anytime you have something selected like this, you have to deselect it in order to continue painting. So I'm going to click deselect. You also notice there's a control D that also deselects. So, but here's the cool thing about this working method. I'm going to change my paintbrush to green for now. Make my brush a little smaller by hitting the left bracket so it's about the size of that. And then carefully go around it. Depending on what kind of computer you have, you may have a touch screen, you may have an iPad or some sort of netbook that has a touch screen to it. But all you're going to do is you're going to make your brush larger or smaller. If you make mistakes, just erase it. Good morning, Jalissa. You must have left and come back. So what you're going to do next, while you're working on this, go to File, or when you get to a finishing point, go to File, Publish Online, and select PSD, which stands for Photoshop document. Click OK, and you'll notice another tab's going to pop up here. As soon as it's done publishing. So what I want to do is, I'm going to close this one. Go ahead and leave it. I'm going to click one time on the website address up here and copy this. Then I'm going to go back to my Google Drive. I'm going to go back to my 7th or 8th grade folder, depending on what grade you're in. So I'm inside my art folder. Click New, Google Docs, blank document, and then click Create and Share. What you're going to call this is Photopia Links. And then put your first initial and last name. Please don't type in a student. This is your first initial and last name. You can't believe how many people actually type in a student, even if you're an A student. And then put the period number. And then down here, I want you to type in today's date. Then you're going to select this text. Make sure you have this website address copied. So I selected it again and copy it. Right mouse click, copy. With this text selected, I'm going to add a link and paste it in here. So this drawing with all of this stuff on it, with all three of these layers, let me close this for a second and show you how this works. The way you get back to that drawing is you just click on here and go to the link. Here's where it gets a little tricky though. I'm going to add some color to this. Just make it a little bit lighter green. Choose my paintbrush. I'm going to use the right bracket to make the paintbrush really big. Since I'm on this layer, which is underneath this layer, anything I paint in here, notice how it's not affecting the top layer. I can turn this layer on and off if I need to add details, like this little band-aid here. After you make a selection like this, you have to go back in here and select Publish Online again and click photopia.com. It's going to create another document and it's going to have that work in it, the work that I just did. So if I close this one, I still have the work here, but I need to select this text and copy it. Select the text, right mouse click and copy. Then I need to go back into this document and update the link by selecting this. Click this little pencil to edit the link and paste the new link in there. That way, I can close this document now. And later on today, late next week, next year, whatever, I can click on this link and I can start back where I ended. With all of the layers intact, I can still turn them on and off and add things to it. But anytime you make a change to this, you need to republish it to Photopia, PSD Photopia. Don't choose either one of these, because if you choose either one of these, it's going to take the layers off. So always choose PSD. And I'm going to cancel this because I didn't make any changes to it. But I hope you get what I'm talking about here. So in this video, that basically shows you what I just showed you. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. If you don't have any questions and you've said hello in the chat, you may leave this Zoom meeting and just know that, wait, don't leave yet. What I need you to understand too, though, is I'm finally going to be able to start adding grades to the gradebook this weekend. Please make sure that you've created a website and shared it with me. If you don't know how to do that, please stick around a little bit after everyone says goodbye, and I'll show you how to do that. But there's a video. One of the very first videos for this class was in Google Classroom. Let me share my screen one more time. In Google Classroom, if you go to the Classwork tab, scroll down to where it says Procedures, create and share your Google site. This was one of the very first things that I had you do in this class. There's a little 4-minute video that shows how to create and share your site. And there's a form here that you need to fill out and copy and paste your website address into this form, so that when I start doing my grading, all I have to do is go to my website and click on the link that I have for your website, and I can check to see that you're keeping up on the work. We have been in school now for almost 4 weeks. So if you don't have a website yet, you're probably going to be getting a phone call from me today. Just giving you a heads up. So please do
Miss,
that procedure. Excuse me?
for the websites, yesterday I posted it for like the Google Classroom comment.
Yep, I saw it.
Um,
In fact,
yeah.
if you can stick around for a couple minutes, there's some things that you need to look at on that. Rather than just putting all of your drawings on one page, there are specific things that go on each page. Okay, so what you're going to do with your drawings, since they're not the drawings that I've assigned, and I need to make this very clear, it's great that you're drawing things other than what I'm asking you to draw and posting them on your website, but there's a specific place on your website for that. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a Google slideshow, put all your drawings on different pages or different slides on your slideshow, and then you can post the whole slideshow in another spot where I'll show you on the website, okay? But the daily doodles should be its own page, and it should be its own slideshow. And the slideshow needs to be inside the Google site, okay? Does that make sense? I hope that doesn't sound like I'm picking on you. I did like seeing some of those drawings. But the other cool thing that we're going to do today and tomorrow, I'm not going to have as long of a lecture tomorrow, is I want you to colorize all of the daily doodles that we've done so far and start adding them to your web page. Well, you'll add them to your Google slideshow, and then you've got the drawings on there, but you're also going to have the colorized versions of your drawings on your Google slideshow. So I'll do a video this evening and put it on Google Classroom tomorrow, and also explain that tomorrow. But for today and tomorrow, just start colorizing the cartoons, the daily doodles that you've been doing, and post them, save those links in a document like I showed you, and then continue to update your website on a daily basis, please. Does anyone have any questions? Did I forget to say hello to anybody? Let's see, did I say hello to Roger? Or Paulina? Or Ryan, can you hang out for a minute after we're done, after everyone logs out? So if you don't have any questions, you can log off. Let's see. All I wanted to say, Orion, is that I haven't received your website yet. So since I still have you online, if you need to see how to do that, I'll show you where to find the link that you can watch the video. It's only a 4-minute video, but it was my very first assignment that I added. And I'm starting to add things to the gradebook. I was kind of sick all week, so I didn't really have a chance to get it updated. But this weekend, I'm going to be updating the website. So it's going to be very important to create the website, add the pages to it like I've showed in some of the other videos, and update it so that I can start adding the grades to the gradebook. Otherwise, if y'all don't have any questions, feel free to log off. We still have another, let's see, 26 minutes left in class. So you really check the chat for questions. Nope, no questions. Hey, Suze, do you have a question?